50. Go live. All right, we're officially live. Just waiting for Alex to hop on board and so that we can be 100% on here. But let's see. All right. My bad. All right, waiting for Alex to come on board, guys. So we're talking about the Santa Clarita market this week. It's been really interesting as to what's been going on in the market lately. We've had a lot of activity in Santa Clarita, and it's pretty interesting. So I'm going to wait for him to hop on for us to get started. So maybe fast forward a little bit if you're watching this in the future, but just bear with me if you're currently on the live right now. All right, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comment section or in the chat, and we'll get to it. I promise. All right, there he is. What is going on, man? Can you hear me?
No.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Let's see.
I'm hoping that people can hear me. You can't hear me at all? Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
All right, good to go. Cool.
There we go.
All right, I was kind of scared, bro. Like, man, like I had a couple people on the live, and they I was hoping that they could still hear me.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we're good. I was just make an adjustment here. All right. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. So what's
Dude, there's a lot. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of activity. It's pretty interesting. So I have some numbers, but I'm waiting on okay, so I have Instagram Live coming up, and I want to get this lined up.
Sponsored by Core Power, Fair Life.
Fair Life is the shit, bro.
Yeah.
Fair Life is dope. All right, so current active listings in Santa Clarita, 243. So I'm including 243 active listings right now in Santa Clarita, including Stevenson Ranch and Castaic, which are like not technically Santa Clarita, but it's like everyone sees it as Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
In the last week, we've had 48 pending, which is like based off of the inventory, that's a little bit over, that's almost 20%. It's 19%, but almost 20% of it. That's just pending, but you know, like how agents do pending and active, there's with that 74% or 74 listings are pending and active under contract. So that's 30% of inventory that's like being flushed out in a week.
30%.
Yeah, based off of the numbers that are currently active right now. So in the next week, we're going to see a 30% of those listings more than likely just being snatched up. And then we got 15 units that went back onto market. So that's 6% of the inventory back on market. And in that time,
in the last market?
Yeah.
When? How long ago?
In the last week.
And I mean, rates have really taken a big hit they've been taking a big hit for the past couple of weeks, but really the past week.
Yeah.
So I've heard of people, I think maybe you were mentioning it, but people canceling because rates going up. And so when this, I mean, it could be for many reasons. For some people have really tight qualifying ratios. So the rate going up, it's just, they're just done.
Yeah, man. And with that, like, I mean, we're still seeing closings. I mean, in this small area, we're like, I think it's like a little bit over 70,000 homes. It's like, or it's like 60,000 homes. So it's a
Mhm.
lot. So we don't have that much inventory active right now. And that's what I was going to try to get to, because we have
Mhm.
34 closed homes. Average list price is 981,000, which is insane.
Wait, the
Because
average list price 981.
981 is average list
Santa
price.
Clarita Valley.
Santa Clarita, that includes Stevenson Ranch and Castaic. So which Stevenson Ranch is the more expensive bougie neighborhood,
Yeah.
and Castaic is kind of like the complete opposite. It's like the new kind of older community, but they're trying to revamp it.
Mhm.
So they have a lot of older kind of broken down homes, so it's a little bit cheaper, and then they have mobile homes, so that drives down the total, average price,
Yeah.
and or manufactured homes. So it's pretty interesting to see that 981. Now that's probably because a lot of more luxury listings are staying on the market a little bit longer. So that's
Mhm.
probably what's driving that price up, the average price. But we're seeing average days on market 57 days. Now, like at the height of the pandemic, that was like 14.
Wow. So, all right. So
Come on,
that's,
guys.
are you able to pull up anything, say in where I'm at, the Simi Valley area?
Yeah, I can definitely do it. It's going to take me a couple seconds. So what have we seen in the market, um like in regards to interest rates? What are we seeing?
Well, interest rates, they've been on the rise. So there's been a lot of changes with that. We had a little bit of a short period of time was a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, where rates they were dipping down, it was looking good, and everyone was excited for maybe like a week or so. And then
Mhm.
even the contracts that we got, agents were saying that looks like the seller concessions were reducing, but now we're back. After the jobs report came out and it was better than expected, then rates started going back up again.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm not going to quote exact rates because then we get into some
Trouble.
disclosure stuff, but yeah, in the VA, I mean, let's just say like $700,000 house, about we're looking in the low sixes for a VA, and that's 100% financing if they qualify for it. But
For the
that's in
people
the
that
low
don't
sixes.
know, why are you saying in the 700s specifically? Like, why are you not saying something bigger?
Well, I'm just using that mid range. That's kind of like the mid range of homes. I
Mhm.
know Santa Clarita, the average price was in the 900s. That's the average price bringing them all together. But if you looked at really the average price someone purchases a home, for the most part, any customers, any people that I work with, they're going to be around the 7 to 8s, right around there.
Yeah, and that's actually the average sales price in Santa Clarita.
Mhm.
Like over history, it's like over, like, I think this last 6 months, it's like in the mid eights. So
So
that's typically where it's at. Right now is just the average listed, like active listings are at 981.
yeah, so rates have been on the rise. I mean, even the conventional, I mean, you're looking in well, like the higher sixes. If you're,
Mhm.
lower, 3% down, for example. I mean, I'll even run some numbers right now just so we get a better idea. So on a purchase price, let's see, I'm just gonna put in some numbers here and then I'll give an approximate, not exact. But it is scaring people away. So while I'm doing this, I know it does scare some people away because they're thinking, hey, I missed my opportunity, get a rate in the twos or the threes or even the fours.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I mean, Danny, I mean, you can attest to this. When you're showing people homes, what did the lines look like, and how much were people paying over asking price?
So I had a client that put an offer for a home in Simi or Camarillo. So totally different market, but it shows what's going on in the market right now. But the home was listed at 700, but it was priced pretty low, and it sold close to 800,000.
Yeah.
So I mean, and the thing is that showing, like, I went to the first open house that was during the week, and in the 5-10 minutes that I was there, there was like 15 people just in and out.
Yeah.
Just in that time.
Lines of people.
It was crazy. And it was I think it was a Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
So
So
they had 17 offers.
different market. I know I've been hearing recently, people have been getting more offers. I know I've heard some agents, I think you even mentioned this too. There's been multiple offers on properties. Even now, I mean, I know we mentioned this a few times on our calls, but we're in a desirable area. Santa Clarita, parts of LA County, Ventura County. There's certain areas. I mean, really, it's probably all Southern California for the most part is a desirable area. Maybe not for everybody, but for many people. So many markets in Southern California are not getting impacted as much as other markets where people moved and they didn't realize the weather wasn't going to be as fun. Whether it was, whether it was the hail, the rain, the snow, whatever. And so some people they're coming back.
Yeah, man, it's pretty interesting how people like they experiment, and I think we have more educated buyers and sellers now than ever before. There's so much access to information that they're willing to try things out and see what works best for them. And it's pretty cool to be able to see that. I got some numbers for you.
There you go.
So we have in Simi Valley, 100 active listings. In the last week, there have been 8 closings, but pending and active under contract. This is pretty surprising. Pending and active under contract is 123.
Is that considering also there's some new builds. Is that considering those too? Because those could be under contract for
a while,
6 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would there's no way to in the MLS, because MLS is typically pretty dumb, to actually exclude that. But yeah, those that it does include those numbers, and there's not even that many new construction sites for you guys.
There's some, but there's not too many.
Santa Clarita has way more.
Oh yeah, much more.
Yeah,
much more.
So you guys have,
trying to see on these. I'm trying to run this figures on so like a first time home buyer, for example, if it's 3% down on conventional, say this is a $600,000 purchase, 3% down, you're looking in the low 7s in the rate. Mortgage insurance, it's not very high, but there has been changes with conventional loans. FHFA added some loan level pricing adjusters, which basically means that there's adjustments to the rate. So it not only with rates going up, this adjustment kind of screws with things. But I know there's been people talking about this. It's been all over social media, which I've seen it with FHA and then also with the VA. So let's go FHA real quick. So FHA has always been a good product, no matter if it's first time or second time home buyer, whatever it is. But a lot of first time home buyers use FHA. It's really lenient when it comes to qualifying, when they're qualifying debt ratios, certain things you have on like blemishes, derogatory items on credit. FHA is good.
Yeah.
But their monthly mortgage insurance, they dropped it. So they reduced it. So like on a $500,000 home, that basically opens up an additional $125 a month. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when it comes to qualifying, that 125 will make a difference between you getting a home and you not getting a home many times. So that opens up some savings. And then, so VA is like that's our bread and butter. That's, we really focus on working with vets. VA, they brought back their funding fee back down to 2.15. It was at 2.15 for a while, then they increased it to 2.3%. So what that is basically if you do not have a service-connected disability, then when you purchase a home, you pay the VA funding fee of 2.15%, which is going to be effective April 7th. Any loans that close after April 7th. So it's a few $100, depending on the loan amount, but a few $100 or maybe more on the funding fee. Could be thousands if it's a bigger loan amount that the veteran doesn't have to pay if they don't have a service-connected disability. But I know Danny and you and I talked about this.
Yeah, we did, and that's why I'm smiling.
This is the big difference maker.
That is Alex
with us and not somebody that very veteran centric. So I'm going to let you hit on that because this is really big.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking about it, and I had some conversations with people. This really applies to people in active duty. Okay. Like the people in active duty, there's not really a way around the funding fee, from my knowledge. I mean,
There could be. I've worked with some vets. They have a service connection, disability, and I've only come across two veterans, or they're not vets, two active service members the past year. We're probably going to see more.
Were they reserve?
Actually, sorry. Well, one is he's an active reserve. The other one, she's active.
Okay.
It's very rare. So that is, but yeah, go ahead. That is very rare.
So I think that it really matters more to like that funding fee, like being decreased, mostly applies to everybody in the active duty side. If you're a veteran, you shouldn't be paying that funding fee at all. It's because you should be rated. And if you're not rated, you need to hit us up. You need to contact us right away, because if you have at least just 10% of a rating, you will get that funding fee waived. So that 2%, you're saving that. You're not going to see it at all. So for you guys that don't know, the funding fee is a fee associated to the VA loan that gets stacked on top of your loan. So let's say you do get something at what the average price that we were talking about, right? So it's at 700,000, what we're seeing a lot of. So times 0.023, that's
right now
16,000. That's as of right now, $16,100. Now that $16,100 got decreased to $1,550. But if you're a veteran, you shouldn't be paying that. You should be like, we have a way of you saving $15,000 basically.
Yeah. And it's nothing funky. It's just understanding what the process is.
And the process, like the trick, which is not really a trick, is to get rated, which I haven't met a veteran that hasn't been injured or hasn't had some kind of ailment because of being in the military. If they broke it, they buy it. So it's a situation where you have to go and get what you deserve, get at least 10%, and you save that $15,000. So it's everyone needs to get on this. And if you haven't done it, you need to contact us right away. So if you're watching this in the future, just give me a call, send me a DM. We're going to get you hooked up.
Yeah, we're still doing it no matter when you're doing. If this is a months from now or years from now, we're still going to be doing it. And if it's years from now, if you're watching this, it's 2023. So we're going to be doing it at a higher level then.
Yeah, exactly. Still send me a DM.
So one thing is on the disability. So when I've talked to vets, and by the way, people that are watching this, I'm a civilian. I'm not a veteran. Danny is. And I work with a lot of vets, and Danny and I work closely together. And I speak to a lot of vets about, obviously, when we talk about the home loan, the first few questions we always ask is, are you rated? Do you have a rating with the VA? And many of them don't know what it is, so we explain to them what it is. So not only do we do loans and real estate, but it's help with the rating. And when I ask, they say, oh no, I don't have a disability. Well, here's just a little bit so you understand. I have friends and clients and people that we know that are 100% rated with 100% disability rating with the VA, and they have regular jobs. They're police officers, firefighters, they work in an office, they're teachers, all different types of careers, and they have 100% disability rating. Because I think some people think if they have a disability rating, that means, because if you're disabled by the state, for example, you're getting Social Security, your disability, then you really can't work. I mean, there's only a certain amount they can make, but you really can't work. With the VA disability, it's a whole different thing. Yeah. So they get their VA disability rating because there's certain injuries that are not, you don't see them. They're not like physical, they're mental. There's a lot of things. So it's really important. Reach out to us, reach out to Danny. Let's get you rated. It's not just about waiving your funding fee. It's about getting what you deserve. Like Danny said, you broke it, you buy it. So that is something we really push hard for.
Yeah.
So
and
that's why you don't pay funding fee with Romeo Echo.
Exactly. And we push for it as much as possible. And if you don't have the, like, this is what it would really look like. And I've explained that to a couple clients that have come to us and reached out to us that really they need to purchase a home really quickly or as soon as possible, but they haven't gotten their rating. So let's say you open up a claim. Let's say you get into escrow today. The idea is for you to open up a claim before you close escrow. So you need to just open up a claim as soon as possible before you close on escrow. And that funding fee will still be applied. Okay. But as long as you're able to close out on that VA claim within a year and get at least 10% rating, which we'll be able to do for you, you will get that funding fee back to you as a check. It's going to have your name on it, and it's going to have the amount that the VA charged you. And whatever you do with that check is between you and God. Okay. So technically what that check is for you to pay down that funding fee, and you pay it to your lending institution, and that fee goes away. But let's say you need a new kitchen, you need a new bathroom, something of that sort. Whatever needs to happen, that's what money. It's your money now.
I have a real life example. He just funded today. It was a transaction Rowan worked on. It's a I won't say his name because we got to keep his name safe, but because we don't want to get into personal stuff. But you spoke to this veteran, and he didn't really think he could purchase a home, or he couldn't purchase a home that he really wanted. Long story short, he ended up funding today. The recording tomorrow. He gets his keys tomorrow. He purchased a home for $360,000. He uses VA loan. He put a $3,000 deposit, and he doesn't have a service connected disability, but he put his claim in weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago. He put his claim in already, so he made sure that he got that done. So he closed today, and then he's getting a refund of $3,000. So his deposit that he put down of $3,000, he got that refund back because there was a seller concession. Seller paid $10,000 of his closing costs. So he went in 100% financing, put his deposit down, because you got to put a deposit down on a purchase transaction, got it back. So once he gets his disability rating, just like Danny said, he's going to get a check of $8,280. That's huge. So the funding fee is financed in the loan. So people understand it's financed in the loan. But once you get your disability rating, as long as your claim is in before you close escrow, like Danny was saying, then once you get your disability, then they're going to get that money back. That's big money. $8,280. I mean, there's so many things he could do with that. The house was nice, all dialed in inside. I mean, he can pay off debt, which I don't think he really had debt. He could do a lot of things.
He's hooked up, man. He's hooked up. Yeah. He just put it in the comments. He outed himself on Instagram.
Oh, he did.
He goes, I paid $700 for an inspection. That's it. Hey, man, we love you, man. I'm so glad everything.
That's awesome, man. I'm really happy for him. This is why I do this business, for guys like him. He bought a house with, I mean, it's awesome. This right here, if he's listening right now, this is gonna set him up where 10 years from now, taking the right steps, obviously working with Romeo Echo, taking the right steps, it'll help him create a portfolio of real estate in the millions. Yeah, I mean, really, it really does. The VA loan is powerful. So tell him to get ready, or he can hear me. Get ready. It's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen for you.
Absolutely, bro. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. All in due time. But yeah, like that. I kind of want to go back to what we're seeing in the market right now.
Yeah,
and it's different because we've seen an increase in interest rates, but we're seeing more savvy real estate agents pricing well, or pricing for that wow factor. And that is essentially how I always recommend that people really approach it. So when it comes down to it, if the pricing is not enticing, it doesn't count. So whenever you're listing something, if you're looking to list your home in the near future, you want to make sure that you have a price that is really enticing to the public, where it seems like, oh shit, I'm getting a deal because of the market, the way it is. But what it does, it creates a lot of eyes, and a lot of eyes on a property means a lot of competition, and a lot of competition just drives that price right back up. Just like that property I mentioned to you before, it was priced at 700 and ended up selling for close to 800,000. We put in an offer that was really competitive, it was really aggressive, but we just like it just didn't matter because the price that they were able to get at, the amount of eyes that they got on that property, it just blew everything out of the water, because it made it seem like I need to get this property now because it's so well priced. It didn't even matter if they were losing out on the deal, because it was a competition. And that's the thing. Like people rely on their pride a lot more, a lot of the time, than they would on logic. So purchasing a house is very number driven and analytically driven, but it's underlyingly so emotional. It's so emotional. It is crazy how creating FOMO, creating the fear of missing out. Absolutely. It's hard to explain, but like, it's your home. Even if you're a flipper, like it can be numbers on a page, but you're about to lose that property. Like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not about to lose anything.
Because we talked about this, I think, briefly yesterday, because you get emotional about it. Because you're saying because you look at the house and you're trying to buy it, and you're already thinking, let's say if you have wife, kids, you have family, you're already thinking of them, going to the backyard, going to the room, you're thinking, so it gets really emotional.
Yep. And that's it. And I'm watching my wife look at houses in Texas, because we're going to Texas, and she's like, oh, I could just see this happening. I could see that happening in this house. I don't like that one because I don't like the backyard in that. Or
you're like, no.
Yeah, I need more square footage. I'm like, yeah, sure, me too. Like, sure, let's do it. Let's spend $100,000 more.
They're sucking you in with the emotion. This is numbers only, non-motion.
Yeah,
like, I'm a real estate agent, numbers only.
And I found myself that I'm the picky one, because it's funny, because I understand the whole process and what it would really like. A home is a home, and a home is what you really make it. And at the end of the day, it's just materials, right? Like, whatever you bring into the house is what really matters. And God, the numbers got to make sense, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. The numbers always have to make sense. I mean, it's good. You get emotional about a property. If you really want to get it, hey, get it. The best time to buy a property is when you're ready to buy a property. And even honestly, no matter what market, and I know if it's salesy, whatever, honestly, it's when you're ready to buy it. Because if you plan on living there and growing your family, and you're going to be there for 3, 4, 5, 10 years or forever, if you're there long term, you made a great investment, no matter what, whether if it's financially or you're going to create those memories. So that's, again, emotion.
Yeah, Ernest says wife always wins. She does. Like, when I'm talking
my
to
wife's not watching. No, she doesn't.
I'm kidding. And then Josh says Romeo Echo or nothing in Texas. I'm going to Texas with you, bro. Let's do it. But bro, like, the saying goes in real estate, you sell the wife, you sell the house. I have more conversation, like, when because I deal with, like, obviously we deal with a lot of Marines and service members, so I usually talk to them first, and they initiate the conversation. But I'm always like, hey, you need to get me on a group chat with you and your lady. Like, that needs to happen, like, right away, like now, because the conversations that we have is different from the conversation that we will all have together. And communication is absolutely key. And I know how I am with, like, kind of gaps in communication sometimes. And I, like, forget to mention something, or like I didn't explain something because I already understand it. I assume that she understands it. So, like, the very first thing I try to do is get those conversations going with the wife, so that we can make sure that we're all on the same page.
I still remember the first house we bought as a family. And my daughter I think she was like 2 or 3. And we're walking up to the house, get to the porch. We're not even inside the house yet. My daughter, she looks up, she's like, I like this. And my wife looks at me, Alex, we need this house. I'm like, oh man, we didn't even go inside the house. The fact that my daughter said, I like this. And then my wife's like, yeah, me too. So I was calling, the
Yeah.
whole letter thing, writing the letter and calling the agent and
Oh, we don't write letters. We wouldn't do that, huh?
Yeah. No, it was me. I'm the buyer. So I was like, I was reaching
Yeah.
out to no.
No,
So,
absolutely, man.
but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Josh says that his goal is to make you so jealous that you can't help it but come with us over to Texas. I think he's already jealous, Josh. I think he already wants the smoke. He wants it.
I do.
Um,
Josh is just pouring more and more in there.
I think it's going to be fun, man, and it's an interesting market because and you like I was thinking about it the other day. We would make more money in Austin. We would make more money in Dallas. We would probably make more money in Houston, but we would make more of an impact in San Antonio.
Yeah,
just because of where like who we are and who we service.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make more of an impact there because of the clientele that's there.
Yeah,
it's what we do, man. There's just more of an impact, and that essentially matters more. Who's that?
That's Frank.
That's Frank. Come back, you sexy bitch.
He said, "Come back. We're on the live."
Oh yeah, there you go. What's going on, man?
That's by the way, that's a famous dad right there from TikTok.
Yeah, the infamous.
Look us up. So yeah, so there's I know, very tempting to go over there. Trust me, my wife's
she's all for it, man.
She's all for it. She's like, when are we gonna move?
We'll make it happen, bro. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, we will. It just certain things just are falling in place right now. So
yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's good enough for today. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, just thank you for people that came on, asked questions, and yeah, looking forward to doing this consistently and really helping people out as much as we can. We
had a lot of people on Instagram Live, which was pretty interesting. But we'll talk about it. Josh says San Antonio is the most toured city in all of Texas as well. You're right. More money per unit, Austin and Dallas, but more lives changed and opportunity in San Antonio.
Yes,
absolutely, man. And that's really the point. Like most of what we do is about making impact and not making a dollar. A dollar comes and we actually give a lot back. So most of our money is dedicated to just giving back to our own community. And for example, tomorrow we have an event that I just found out about today where
we'll talk about it more later because we got the three of us and Roland, we gotta get out the stuff figured out. Yeah. But go ahead.
And it's all giving back. That's all it is. Like we're giving the space to them, and we're giving them a lot of assets for them to succeed because mission accomplishment has been really lacking lately. So we're giving them tools to be able to accomplish mission and actually get people in the door for them, for recruiters. And we're trying to
have 31 people here to help support them.
Yeah. See, and yeah, man. Okay. I think that's, and Sean says, take me with y'all to Texas. We'll go, man. That's how you're going to build that wealth, bro. You just, we're going to make it happen, man.
There we go.
I'll be out there. All right, guys. I think we're good. Thanks a lot, Alex. I'll talk to you.
All right, guys. Thank you, Danny.
20 minutes.
Take care.
All right, man.